If I'm ever stuck for a dessert recipe, this is the one I always go to. It is so easy to make, it's chocolatey, it's gooey, it is delicious. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my chocolate lava cake, and it is super simple to make. It starts off by melting some butter, and I have a pan of simmering water with a bowl sitting over it. This butter is going to melt down, and when it's melted, we're going to stir through some chocolate. But first, while we're waiting for that to melt down, I'm going to whisk up 3 eggs with some caster sugar. Now, by doing this and whisking it up so they're light, pale, and fluffy, you're going to add this lovely frothiness, which is essential to get that molten interior to your cake. So, nice fresh eggs, some sugar, and we're going to be in business. In with some caster sugar, and you're going to whisk this up. It's going to change in its texture completely. It's going to become light, pale, and fluffy. This looks great now. It's kind of at a moussey texture, and it's perfect for adding the rest of the ingredients. I have my melted butter right now, so I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to take it off the heat, add the chocolate to it at this point, and the residual heat in the melted butter is going to melt down that chocolate. So stir that straight through, give it a second just to warm through, and then stir it until it's completely melted and you have a thick mixture. Now, the reason I'm doing this is that I don't want to incorporate too much heat into this frothy mixture. Otherwise, the heat in this bowl is going to cook the eggs in this bowl, and you will be left with a mess, and nobody wants a mess. So just mix that through and look at that chocolate melting down. This has melted down beautifully, and now that it's a little bit cooler, I'm just going to pour this straight into that egg mixture. This is chocolatey, it's velvety, and it's moussey, baby. Now that I've got it all in, give it a good mix up and just incorporate it all together. This is where chocolate meets eggy sugar mixture and everything gets good. As soon as it's just mixed, I'm going to get the mixer out, and we're going to fold through a very small amount of flour. Now, to get this wonderful velvety lava interior, you're only going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of flour, and it's important when you're adding a very small amount of flour into a very liquid mixture that you sieve it in, because otherwise you're going to be left with lots of lumps and bumps, and you don't want that. The great thing about this pudding is that you can add a whole host of different ingredients. Nuts go really well in here, fruit works really well, a little bit of orange zest would work really well. It kind of give you that sort of chocolate orange taste, which is pretty good. Now that the flour is sifted in, I'm just going to take a spatula and we're going to fold this through. This is essentially the same recipe I make for little mini molten chocolate cakes, but it works super well in this big baking dish as a dessert that everyone can dig into. So fold that through, and that is it. Once you have it completely incorporated, this now gets poured straight into a buttered dish. So just pour it on in. It is gloopy and it is moussey. The great thing about this mixture is that it can sit quite happily until you're ready to bake it off. So if you want to make it ahead of time, by all means do. This now goes into a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 180 degrees Celsius. It's going to cook off for about 20 minutes. You're looking for the outside to be kind of slightly cakey, but the interior to have a nice bit of wobble. So into the oven we go. When this comes out of the oven, you should be left with that cakey exterior, but that beautiful molten interior. And I think the only way to do this is to dive straight in and check it out. So I'm going to take a nice generous spoonful and get that oozy, beautiful pudding. That is exactly what you're after. And all that moussiness that you've got in there is due to all the air you put in when you whisk the eggs and the sugar together. So I have to try some. Look at that luscious, frothy, tasty, chocolatey goodness. Oh, that is ridiculously rich and intense. It's so warm. There's that lovely molten bit in the center. If you want the recipe for this ridiculously good chocolate dessert, make sure to check it out in the box below over on my website. Subscribe to this channel for lots more delicious recipes. Of course, like and share this video and leave me a comment letting me know if you're going to try this recipe. I will see you soon.